Hey, everybody, it's your host of the Sith Dominion podcast, Dr. Dana Martin, and welcome to the show. I'm all alone. Just give me 1 second here. I'm trying to do something that I don't understand why it's not working. I'll forget it. Sorry, TikTok, you're not going to be able to see it up there because I can't figure out tech. Back to you guys. How's it going? Yeah, I got no one here. It's just me and you. And for those of you over in TikTok, I can't even. Okay, I'm looking at you, but I can't look. So if you comment, I'm not gonna see you. You're gonna have to go to YouTube or Twitch or Facebook and catch the show on the side and whatever. Because you're not. I can't look, and I have no moderators. Look at me. I'm a one man old guy trying to talk City Star Wars. This is pathetic. Just kidding. It's not pathetic. Um, I love what I do. I love being able to talk to folks about personal growth, about Star Wars, especially how you can coordinate the two, and that just being a part of something bigger in this community can be so impactful. I've shared stories of children, special needs children, getting to do things that the family never thought they'd see them do, and it's in and amongst characters from Star Wars. There's plenty of stories, right? We all know those people and have those stories. So yeah, tonight I'm solo. Debbie is supposed to join. As you all know who do watch the show, Debbie is on several other podcasts, and one of those is MCU Monday. And of course, Disney never talks to me about when they should be releasing shows. Um, so they always release them during this show. And it didn't start like that until Ahsoka, by the way. So here I am all alone. Cam is probably working his tail off. He did notify me late that he was not able to join. Andrew, our go-to guy, he also not able to join. Zane has a rehearsal, so he's unable to join. So it's just me. On a Zane note, if you all follow along at home, Zane is in a band, Thomas Babiak and 30 Rack. He is the harmonies and plays drums for that band. They released a song called Favorite Color on February 14th. On March 28th, their new song will be released. You can catch it on Spotify. It's called My Poor Liver. And if that doesn't sound like a country drinking song, I don't know what does. And yes, I've heard it. And actually, Zane and I got to play it together, cover it a couple weeks ago at the First Friday in downtown Bryan. It's a great song, fun tune. Definitely, when you listen to it, have a beer in hand. And good luck, Thomas. You're a hell of a talent and a great songwriter, and the band you got there is pretty damn special. He is in my friend list on here, so go check him out. And we do pop up his social stuff every now and then on behalf of Zane. Wow, that was a mouthful. So no, Debbie's not here. She's doing the stuff with Daredevil tonight, and then Cam is working and Zane is rehearsing. And Andrew, I don't know, but he's almost a fixture on this show now. And this segment of the show is brought to you by Jameson Black Barrel. They don't pay me to say that. I just thought you all would like to know. So, what are we going to talk about tonight all by ourselves for about an hour? Because I'm already out of topics. Just kidding. We were talking. Let's talk about this because while there aren't many people watching the stream at this moment, we do know people listen and come and watch the stream later. So I'm going to share my screen of a screenshot I just grabbed. Maybe. Where is the screenshot? Window. Here we go. Here we go. Share. We don't talk about Bruno. Here we go. What's up, Ayers Corban? No, we don't talk about Bruno. And we don't talk about Zane when he's not on the show either. Last week we discussed more in depth the loyalty program, and which started the week prior. So it's been running now for 2 weeks. This is the third week. Anyone that watches live receives 2 points per 5 minutes that they're watching. Now, YouTube has a stipulation that if you are watching, you must make a comment. That's how that counts. So every 5 minutes or so, if you're watching and you can go in and say, hey guys, or something, that'd be awesome for us, but it's also awesome for you. And TikTok, no, I haven't figured that part out yet for you guys, but I will. But for all of you watching live and streaming live, you accumulate points. 2 points for every 5 minutes, and YouTube says you must make a comment to acquire points. Now, why? Who cares, right? Well, first of all, we live in this show for engagement, and part of the living for engagement means, like, if I don't have people as co-hosts, we have people on the side chat that are engaged, and we're still having the conversation in the show. This show, I hope, I certainly pride myself in having the focus try to be every single person that makes a comment appropriate, and sometimes a little iffy, gets that comment on the show, and we mention it, we talk about it. Heck, there have been folks, Spooky Jaw was new to our scene, super engaged. Eris Korriban, of course, always here, and other Star Wars nerd. Only 4 points, but that's usually Star Wars nerd. I would assume would be at the top of the list there with Spooky Java. So, point is, hey, we want to reward people for taking the time out of their lives to watch us and waste time that they'll never get back. And how do we do that? Well, we reward you with a book. So, second book that I have, I don't remember if I mentioned it. The first book at the beginning of the show. No, I think I just did it for you guys at TikTok. Pause for the cause. After this list reveals a person that goes to 100 points. 100 points will get you a copy of my new book, which is super fun. It is, well, I have a copy right here. It is just a journal, like an inspirational journal, you see? And the inspirational journal has lined pages and plenty of margins to doodle or draw or whatever, like so, for you at TikTok and for you guys in this here. But also, every several pages, we have this kind of stuff. I don't even know if that's backwards or what, but I'll show you guys here too. Well, that is backwards. But it does say the path to productivity is the path to power. So it's literally misquoted, the dark side quotes, but talking about being organized, how there's strength in structure. Through structure, I gain strength. Through strength, I get results. Just something silly, but journaling is not something I do. So why would I have created something like this? Well, I find your lack of deadlines disturbing. I did something like this because I do have notebooks that I take notes in for work. And sometimes, yes, quickly typing something out note-wise using OneNote, something like that. But nothing beats, for me, nothing beats pen and paper and me retaining that information. So I created this so I can use one, but then also You can get this at Amazon for $9.99, or B, as you see here on your screen, be the first to get to 100 points. Now, the Sith Dominion and Streamlabs obviously not in the contest, but I wanted to make sure you guys saw who was in the lead. Look at Matt. Man, just you there, Matt. Organization, but chaos. So fun. Thank you, Eris. All right. We'll stop sharing. Thank you guys for humoring me. I should probably put that link somewhere. In my screen share. All right. Welcome back. Sweet. I made some headway in my book this week that I'm writing, like the real book. It's called Be the Example 7. Oh, great. Boy. Sis. Yeah. Wow. How about that? That's what kind of day it's did. 7 steps for emulating excellence. And I'm working right now on trust. And this is a great piece to be writing about while we're talking about Andor. Cassian Andor, we're going to start jumping into Andor. And when Debbie gets here, hopefully in the next 30 to 45 minutes, she can start contributing, and it's going to be funner. Okay. Trust. I want to read you something, and this is kind of the cool thing about me writing this stuff as you guys are here with me alone, because I would not go through this if it was the full show. So here we go. Free. You get free stuff here today from Dana. So today I finished a piece within the book, and I want to share it. Here we go. Are you kidding me? I know, right? All this tension, all this buildup. What is happening? I don't know. Okay. Each morning, this is the end of a story. I can't tell you the whole story, but you'll get a little piece of it. You ready? Here we go. Each morning, I walked into work and and saw the scrolling digital signage displaying the never changing queue numbering 80 HSMBP. That was my team. Each night, I left the office seeing the exact same number. No matter how many calls I took or issues I resolved, the work never seemed to end. But what mattered wasn't the scoreboard, it was knowing that every action I took reflected my values. Now, why would I bring up working in a contact center and these queues? Has anyone worked in a contact center before? It's bleh, so gross. Like, I mean, I say it's gross, and I still do this for a living. Like, I manage contact centers. It's so gross because you get a wave every day of people with problems. Okay, understand it's not. I have empathy and sympathy for those that I supported during that time in my career. But it is not fun. Any customer service job, I can't imagine you don't have a single day that you're at some point like, I don't want to do this. I think you have to have a servant heart, a true servant heart, to last in the customer service part of any industry. Customer service to me is its own beast, sure, because there are some standards, but ultimately within each industry, their own customer service piece is, oh my gosh. I think about, like, if you have a prescription problem and you got to call your doctor and you got to deal with that customer service just to get in contact with your doctor. And then you got to contact Walgreens or Target or whoever, Kroger, whoever's doing your, and then you've got to talk to that customer service rep, and then they refer you. You know what? I see what happened. Your insurance company. Now I've got to talk to my insurance company. Understand from a customer care point of view, like I'm just doing everything I can to help you. You got to trust me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why would I trust anybody? I just got passed around 5 times. Okay, that's the customer experience. Now you're on the other side, right? You're inbound, you're taking that. What why are all these people so mad all the time? Well, it's because they're hey, Eris Corban. Yes, 100% my job in a nutshell. Because everybody's got a problem and everybody needs someone to solve it, and everyone needs to solve it immediately, and then you need to go back in time and fix it so that it never happens again or never happened in the first place. Whew. I have literally seen someone complain that there was no organic vanilla yogurt available on a flight. Someone complained, and not just once. This one person complained probably 10 times. No organic, and I get it. It's a flight, and maybe it was a long haul. Who knows? But really, what does this have to do with Andor? Contact centers are really interesting because there is a management structure that is very much this old school paradigm of manager, supervisor, agents, maybe some other tiered agent piece within that. And when you look at how that structure has worked for 30 years, like great, it's just not working that way, the way it should maybe anymore. But in that hierarchical chain, you have to have a level of trust. When you call customer service, you trust that they are going to resolve your issue, or maybe you don't. Whenever you don't get the resolution that you want or were promised, what do? You escalate to the next level. That supervisor then is trying to assist, and you trust they are going to get you squared away. And if they don't, I want to escalate the next level. And we do this over and over again. Raise your hand if you've ever escalated on a customer service rep. I'll wait for those in the back. Yes. What's that, Eris? Most constant call. I know I placed a request to be called, but why are you calling me? Well, let me tell you, you've requested me to call. That level of trust that we have as a consumer can be easily tainted, easily wavers. And then you flip it over to the other side. That management structure has to have complete trust that you're not going to do something silly that would cause the company to get in trouble with personal information, to get in trouble with financially with what maybe your I refunded too much or whatever. All of those things surround trust. And then you take it a step further and you look at those teams of agents, because at the end of the day, you really, as a customer service agent, you only have you and that person taking calls next to you. I know most of it's remote now, but you know what I mean. What does this have to do with Andor? I keep saying that. I'm telling you. I'm getting there. Trust me. Trust me. True. Fine. When we see that we are the only ones there, management is gone, and this is any job, not just customer service. When you see you're the only one there with maybe one other person, tell me, is there like a bond there? Right? It's like, dude, it's us. It's me and you against the world, man. And there's this queue of 80 people that are pissed because they can't get their laptops fixed. And we're supposed to fix it. I really wish I need to find this quote real quick here. And I'll find it. It's something I used to say quite a bit, but I want to make sure I get it right. And it's about trust. It's about how are you supposed to reach out to that person and work beside them, even remotely beside them, and trust that they are going to do their workload. The shared workload experience is unique. It really is in the way unique in call centers or contact centers. It's much different in manufacturing because you can see it real time happening. In manufacturing, you can see it real time in other industries. Linemen as in uh, power lines or cable lines or fiber lines. Linemen. You can see it. Oh, in any industry, someone's not pulling their weight. It shows up pretty quick. I believe contact centers is a little different. Um, when people aren't pulling their weight, there are ways that they can game the system to make it look like they are, but that they're really shirking duties or offloading work to other teams. There's zero sense of trust. But what does this have to do with Andor? I'm getting there. So, if here we go. So, behaviors that cause distrust between those employees and such. What does this have to do with Andor? Trust me. Hold on. What ends up happening is barriers and walls between those agents and those coworkers. They are no longer coworkers. They are no longer teammates. They simply exist in the same space doing the same job. I'm not saying you have to be friends, but what I do say is if you go in with the attitude of, I am here to work for the person next to me, not just with the person next to me or aside the person next to me. I'm coming to work for that person next to me. You will be unstoppable. I have done this over and over and over again. Preach this mantra to people that work for me, and the entire team catches that good positive toxicity, if you want to call it toxic, because it does spread and it does cause the death of the me versus you in a very negative, condescending, dog eat dog kind of way. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to build trust and we're going to work together as a team. Now, what does this have to do with Andor? Well, there are certain things that occurred in specifically the heist. Um, a lot of trust had to be given, a lot of trust had to be earned, and that amount of trust within Andor and that was bestowed upon Andor, I don't know that within the very short amount of time he was with Luthen, he would have been influenced that much to go all in. But he trusts. Trust is the key to the rebellion. Trust for the rebellion to succeed had to be entrenched. They had to trust that whatever Luthen was doing was worth it. Leia had to trust that the amount of people that were going to die on Scarif was worth it. She had to trust those people that provided her information. She had to trust those people that told her this should be the strategy. One of the more impactful moments I thought on screen for Leia, and we're not talking about the movie as a whole, but certainly we will bring up The Last Jedi. Because Poe took down the dreadnought, and the immediate response from Leia, it wasn't about the accomplishment. For her, it wasn't about playing the game. It was about assuring that the people survived the game. That sort of trust that they have in her as a leader, Poe did not get. He didn't understand. sometimes the best move is the step back so that you don't have to fall back. And in our lives, when we look at someone like Cassian and compare, yes, we're not a part of a rebel alliance. Not saying that, right? But I am saying, if you take what all Andor had lost or perceived to have lost, and you take even more away from him, then he has no bucket of experience to draw upon where he can trust. So this is where all this comes in, this whole 20 minutes on trust. The question is, did Cassian Andor trust Luthen and the others? Or did he trust getting the opportunity for payback to the Empire? I think there was less trust and more hope. I think there was more of a hope that he'd get the opportunity to take out and do damage to the Empire, but not do damage in a way that's impactful in a ginormous way. The guerrilla style tactics that the Rebel Alliance had to use was, I mean, some of it was, it gives me queasy. Like, I'm the guy, like when I'm playing Call of Duty or I'm playing Rivals or whatever, like I don't like the guys that snipe from halfway across the map and they're hidden. And it's like, yeah, but that's the role. I get that's the role. Just doesn't seem fair. Like, come fight me. Come get me straight away. Come at me, bro. Right? Don't tase me from, a state over. Just, you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Just kidding. I'm not. I can't. Now it's in my head. We're not doing that. So if you do follow us on our socials, you would have seen a little bit of Monica in my life. No. What would you have seen? Do you ever feel like you just woke up? I do. I feel like I just woke up. There it is. So if you follow us on socials, I posted a video earlier, talking about Cassian Andor. And where did it go? We're going to play that now. Nope. Pause. Oh, you know what? We'll do that later. I know, right? All that time I wasted. No, because I can do it like this and it'll actually, maybe 300 megs. It has a limit. It won't let me. All right, we're good. All right, it's loading. All right, let's do it. Let's play. All right, I'm gonna go mute, I think, whenever I play it. Let's see.
Cassian Andor started out as a lone survivor, someone who'd do whatever it took to see the next dawn. He was cynical, even ruthless at times, hiding that glimmer of a cause behind walls of self-preservation. Yet each run-in with the Empire chipped away at his apathy. He saw firsthand the cruelty and fear that stoked their power, and that brushed a spark to life inside him. In quiet moments, Cassian wrestled with his choices, realizing that rebellion isn't born from grand gestures alone, but from small acts of defiance, from battered hearts that choose hope over surrender. And if he, a single wary soul, could find purpose in unity, then any of us can be daring to believe our daily struggles could light a fire that the galaxy's darkness cannot extinguish.
That's right. So yeah, Cassian. And those of you in TikTok, the video I just played is in my story right now, so you can go check it out. Dude, Cassian was something else, man. He well, first of all, just Diego Luna, fantastic Diego Luna. Always a pleasure to watch you act, and you own that character. Um, Something about him that sticks with me really, really deep is he's so reserved, but you know he's a dangerous man. Um, you can tell by how he carries himself, how he has a wall built around him. You can tell that he does not want to get close because all that get close, he loses in some form or fashion. And quite frankly, he's lost himself on who he once was, who we see even at the beginning of um, Andor season 1 in some of those flashbacks. So he's lost everything at this point in Rogue One when we see him and we meet him. We know in the very beginning he's ruthless. There is no Han shot first, like he shot, like straight up murdered. Does murder them. And how is it that this is a serious question I wish I had a panel for right now. How is it that we gravitate today in 2025 to a person character? How is it that we gravitate to a character like Cassian Andor who has the propensity to not just willy-nilly off people, but he has no problem offing someone if needed. And we are behind this dude because of the greater good. I have no answer to this. I'm just as captivated with this character and how it's written as everyone else. My question resides in more why. Why are we captivated by this guy? Is it because in the end we see his reconciliation? We see him completing his mission and finally being vulnerable uh, to Jen or so, but to anyone. I mean, he cared about K2SO. He cared about Jen. He cared about um, Bodhi, who he just had met. Um, but up until that point, and even in Andor right now, I mean, everything he has, he lost, and even in his death, he won in his death if he's standing on the beach, right, with a lovely woman, and that's how you go out. I guess that's winning. Um, you know what I mean? No, Andor is a very very difficult show, I think, on some levels. And that onion layer, you keep peeling back, and there's so much more to it. I don't think there's as much. I think a lot of times, yeah, and I get accused of this of kind of reading into shit on these movies, but it's because I long for meaning in this, right? I don't want there's shows I want to watch just for entertainment, but I don't want Star Wars to be just that. I don't want it to just be this kind of uh, toy. I don't want it to just be this thing that like I want it to be a part of my life, clearly, um, because I think there's so much more to it. But maybe I'm reading into it. It's possible. I just feel that this character I can associate with the deeper it goes. Where I'll pose that question growing up, having a drink with friends or whatever, college, what have you. It's like, what would you do? Like if someone came in and was trying to kill everybody, like what would you do? Oh, I'd jump out the window, or I'd stand and fight, or I'd like you don't know. You don't know. You don't know unless you've done it. I don't know. I think I could say what I believe I'm prepared to do. And that's why I say that Cassian was a dangerous man. He was dangerous because he had the ability, capability, and if you crossed improbability, that you would be offed. So, like, how do you reconcile that in a hero? And we reconciled that with Han because, the whole, well, we don't want him to be that much of a scoundrel. Let's really accentuate the first shot. He was a scoundrel. He did kill people. And then we look at Andor, who I made the comparison last week, maybe a modern day Han, and I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, that's fine. You guys get me. It's fine. But this dude's, I think, a little more, little much, little more compared to Han. We never saw Han really do. I mean, even when he got tangled up on Endor, wrestling the dude, he's throwing him up against the tree and all this. Maybe that was just more comic relief. I don't know. I got the sense that Han would think twice. And I do not believe Andor would think twice. Now, he did when it came to Jen's father, Galen. I don't know, man. Such a complex character. I hope that once we're done with Andor, that there is a sense of like I'm satiated from, I'm content with what happens. I know they don't care about what I say. Nobody does, but I feel like that's where I'm heading coming into this new season. I would like to see it wrapped up nicely. I would like to have things lead up to, and I understand there's going to be some time gap, some time skippage, which is good if you're going to try to wrap it up. I just don't want to be left wanting. I need Andor's story to finish being fleshed out in a different medium. I need it in comic, or I need it in book, because I think we oversaturate with the live action, and that goes back to trust, right? So I don't trust Disney as the owner of the IP to do what's best for the IP. Anyway, back to trust, back to Andor. So Diego Luna has a new group of folks in the beginning of this kind of arc or piece of story with the heist. And we know that she's working with Luthen. She is a part of a squad of folks that I say she because I don't remember her name. And I have no one here to support me. So just bear with me, man. Just bear with me. I'm hanging on. I have a feeling Debbie will be joining in like 10 minutes. Oh, see? And then I lost my space. MySpace? Who had a MySpace? I had a MySpace. I think there's still a Dana Martin Music MySpace somewhere, and I don't know how to like stop it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's talk about so the rebellion. This was an interesting thing that began to show in this series during this piece of the arc, kind of the middle ish of the series. The rebellion was, gotta fix TikTok here. The rebellion started playing on people's fears. The rebellion started playing on people's anger. There was stirring in the streets. I think on the last episode I mentioned I think I said something about Lenin, and that's so wrong. It might be more Karl Marx. It's been so long since I've read any of that material, and I get them all mixed up because, quite frankly, they just want to riot and hurt people. And what I'm seeing in this, and I know that was some of the intent in the show, in the writing, just based on interviews and what we see in Andor, how the rebellion is starting and whatnot. So each victory that they have, right, in with the rebellion, what was it, Aldhani, um, more violent measures are enacted, and you can sense the tension building. You can feel the conflict growing, and you can see and you can see how the people are starting to get tired. They're tired of it. Um, what starts to happen though is as those people are standing up, the lines between what's morally the correct way to fight this fight and what's the way we think we can win, that morality and the difference in ethics between those two creates a chasm that once you're on one side, I don't think you can come back. Mon Mothma and Luthen, we get a good dose of them over this piece of Andor, and you have Luthen that's again lost everything he has, sacrificed everything, and Mon Mothma has too. But she's done it in a political capital way where everything that she ever worked for to build is gone or would be gone had save this stuff coming out, right? Like this stuff comes out, it's over. How important are morals when we are in a battle? How important are morals in a conflict, right? Like where's the line? If I have a conflict with my coworker, like should I just call him a pimply faced, cotton-headed nanny muggins? Like what what are you supposed what am I gonna do? Just talk? Like how is that helpful? How is that like what are you just gonna tear them down all the time, all day? For what? To what end? The capital that you raise within your life with your relationships, all of that Luthen gave up, all of that capital, Mon Mothma has given up. And there comes a point where there is no coming back. Luthen crossed that line with some of his early. I'd love to see a spinoff. I would see a spinoff series on Luthen and how he got to where he was at. Or shit, just give me more Luthen and Mon Mothma early on. Like, why is Mon Mothma? Really, who she is. I used to really not like her at all. I thought she did some shady shit that I didn't feel was morally okay or ethically okay. And after doing a lot of the reading of the legend stuff way back, I realized that Mon Mothma truly loved the sense of and the ideal of a true republic where representation was truly looking out for their constituents. Ideologically, yeah, I'm aligned with you, but it's just not going to happen so long as there's sin and corruption in the world. We see that today. So, again, a lot of parallels to stuff that's happened in history within the Star Wars universe as a whole. Some stuff specifically surrounding communism in Andor. If you don't see it and you haven't thought about it, go look a little bit at that. It's actually brilliantly woven into the story, the tapestry of the story. Like it's so good. Yeah. Okay. this is the part where I'm like, okay, Debbie should be joining any moment, and we can pick up. I have another bit to go on. There, what I see in this part of the Star Wars universe timeline is what's leading up to the Senate has been dissolved, right? So we see in the very beginning of A New Hope. Oh my goodness. In the very beginning of New Hope, we see the Senate being dissolved and that the local governors will be controlling blah blah blah. So from the time we have Andor to the time we have that scene, my lore master is not here, and if someone in the chat knows, awesome. I think it's only like a year, maybe 2. Like, it's not a lot of time. Because I think maybe 3 years. I need to figure that out. I need to pull up that timeline. So if we have Andor season 1 to A New Hope, where right at the beginning of New Hope, we know that Cassian just died. Into the first galactic empire. Yes. Dude, I gotta say, I love me some Palpatine. God bless it, that dude. So cool. Just kidding. Not. Back to Mon Mothma. So she was influential in the story of the Republic. It was the New Republic. Influential in the Rebel Alliance, and we get all the way to or before the New Republic. When she's in the Rebel Alliance, we see her right now as a senator, which we never really saw in Return of the Jedi. We only see her as the leader of the rebellion, right? Mon Mothma. Man, it just kind of hit me. Andor takes place 5 years before Rogue One. Okay. So a lot happened over that time, and then you have another couple years in between Death Stars being built, Return of the Jedi, and A New Hope. Mon Mothma in that scene, many Bothans died. I always try to do the imitation and make fun of her. There used to be this website, okay? Those of you that are of my generation or so, when the interwebs first happened, and we had all kinds of dumb stuff like E-Bombs World, like that's a legit site now, I think. But at the time, you get there, you get spam malware, whatever. Like, it was terrible. It was a Wild West in the internet days. But there was this place, and I don't even know if it's still around. It was rebelscum.com. Now, if you type that out, it's probably gonna get, if you have really heightened moderation on your browser, probably not going to want to search it. But it's a real site, rebelscum.com. And they would post stuff all the time. The site has undergone a whole revamp several times over in the last 20 years or however long I've been, I had seen that. But I'm watching this video, and I don't know where it's from. It's just that's where the site, back in the day, you would always go to these sites to watch clips. You wouldn't just go to YouTube. Like, it was a Wild West. And this guy was going off, and he had this picture of all of the rebels. Like, he would show a picture of look at General Madine, man. I mean, this guy. Look at that hair. Seriously, did you just wake up and say, "Oh, I want a penis head"? Like just stupid stuff, but it was hilarious. Like, oh my god, yeah, that's Madine's hair. Or, oh my god, don't even get me started about that bitch Mon Mothma. Like, he just totally burns every character that's a ranking official in the Rebel Alliance. Anyways, gotta see it. I'll try to find the link to it. Maybe it's super inappropriate. I don't know. Who cares? No one cares. Andor takes place 5 years before. Yeah, Thank you, Eris, for that, because you have now stepped in as the lore master since your brother is not here tonight being the lore master. Awesome. So, I don't know what I just did. Is everyone still there? I don't know what happened. Okay, yeah, everyone's still there. Cool. All right. Let us pull this up. There's a clip I want to show from our show, or I did not pull it up in advance. Sorry. And we'll talk about this clip in just a second, soon as it pulls up. In the meantime, I heard a rumor, and the rumor is that K2SO is going to make an appearance in season 2 of Andor, and if that is the case, very happy am I. I don't want season 2. All right. Oh, what do you guys think about like the whole family table dynamic at each of these places, right? Like we get kind of a view and to see how everybody is at each of these times. It's so cool. Let's see, come on, Deidre. All right, here we go. We're gonna share. This is my favorite dark side character. And I don't recall who it was. And if you're watching, my apologies. Someone commented on the poll. The poll this week was who has different motivations, ulterior motive between Deidre and Cyril. And the comment I saw, it's like Deidre's like straight up fascist. I'm like, you can't deny that. She's straight up fascist. Share. All right. And show on the stream. Let me know.
And I want to keep a tight hand on the budget. Now, what did I miss while I was gone?
The Finkley conference. They have agreed to move up your speech.
Dude, I'm sorry. This you do not want to meet her in the hallway. I mean, oh, Debbie!
Hello.
Hello. Good to see you. You came just in time. I'm talking about everybody's favorite fascist, Deidre. I was saying, I don't know I put the poll on every social, whatever. I don't know which one it was, but some dude was like, Deidre's straight up fascist. Like, yeah. You kidding me? And Cyril's just plain weird. I'm like, yeah. Awesome. All right. I wanted to point out as you walk in, the look. All right. It's backing up. There's one. How was the show? It was good.
Yes, very good.
Oh. All right, here we go.
I want weekly rewards from Ferrex, and I want to keep a tight hand on the budget. Now, what did I miss while I was gone?
The Finkley conference. They have agreed to move up your speech.
Dude, she looks him up and down. She's measuring him like
She hates him with a passion.
oh man. I love like okay, I'm a guy. So
I
if
would
there's
hope so.
any sort of what's the word? Signs that a woman may give off that's pleasant or unpleasant, dude's not gonna get them, right? Like,
Mhm.
and first of all, he's walking totally oblivious that she even exists in this moment, and that plays into it too. And I just want to celebrate a woman's toughness. Here we go. We'll do that one more time because it just makes me crack up. Because if she was alone in that hall with him, she would have whooped him. Am I lying?
Yep.
Oh no.
So I'll want weekly reports from Ferrex, and I want to keep a tight hand on the budget. Now, what did I miss while I was gone?
The Finkley conference. They have agreed to move up your speech.
The way she
Man.
purses her lips, like,
It's useless.
Oh.
It's broken, misplaced, or mislabeled a single military component in the past 12 quarters.
Well, maybe there's an unofficial ledger.
Yeah, but I wouldn't trust anything coming out of there. The Imperial Navy is the only account they have left at this point, and they'd never admit anything's wrong.
You should go. I didn't realize how late it was.
I'm staying if you are.
I don't know what I'm doing. About any of it.
Yes, you do. You're onto something. Kessel.
All right. Pause that. So, hi, Debbie.
hi.
I wanted to show that piece to show that she's all business all the time until she's not, because she actually does care about what's his name? I don't remember his name. As an employee, as someone that, you know, she trusts. Earlier in the show, we were talking a lot about trust and how, well, go back and listen to the show. But basically, like Andor Cassian had to have some level of trust, at least in the ideal that he was being sold by Luthen to jump in, and then the whole heist, etc. So anyhow, I think she totally trusts this dude, and that's why she is more open and more what I think is who she is. But I'd love to get your perspective on that. She's hard outside when she needs to be, but she also is caring to the folks that she trusts.
I think she's the type of person that you give her respect, she'll give you respect. That's the way she comes off to me, because with anybody else, like the one dude who, you know, dismissed her, and you know, I mean, of course, you know, I think he kind of looks at her like, you know, you're just a woman.
Yes.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're just trying to climb the ladder, blah, blah, blah. Which, you know, maybe she is trying to climb the ladder. I don't think she is. I think she's trying to do her job.
Yeah.
But
I mean, in the poll, how did you vote?
I didn't.
You didn't.
I'm
Do you
not
think
even sure I
do you
seen
think
the
she
poll.
has an ulterior motive other than doing her job, improving herself? I mean, I obviously see that, right? Like she wants to like show she's correct and know
Yeah,
that
I mean,
she's
that's
doing
the way it comes off, because I believe she comes from enforcement,
Mhm.
police, whatever. So I think she takes her job seriously, and her even finding these patterns, you know, of the rebels or whoever stealing all this stuff, but doing it, you know, oh, I forget who said it, and I'm not quite sure how they said it, but something about they're not picking on the same fence at the same time, or
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
more than once. I'm not sure what the quote was, but anyways, but for her to find it, and then the uppers not even acknowledging that, oh, you know what, she could, you know, she could be right. Let's look into this. No, she, you know, she's a
Awfully
woman.
dismissive.
Yes, she don't know what she's talking about.
I don't see the spot of tea we'd asked for, Deidre.
Bring
Take
me
these
my
crumpets
coffee.
and shove them up your what?
Bring me my coffee.
All right, one more clip here. Why do I always stop the share? Just pause it in the screen. Oh, Luthen. Oh, wait.
I thought you were turning it off.
was just going to.
You said that an hour ago.
Am I keeping you up?
There's nothing coming through tonight. You want to be useful? Go clean some coins.
Happy? Have you checked your walk-away pack?
Yes.
And the one on the fonder?
I don't like seeing you nervous. There's nothing else you can do, Luthen. You're either going to be okay out there or they're not.
What? That's a daring prediction.
Bel's the only one who traces back.
No. The thief, Andor. I wasn't careful.
You wanted this to happen. This is what it took. It's never going to be perfect.
I wanted it too much.
We have clients in the morning.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
They'll all be over this time tomorrow.
Or would he just be starting?
Or that?
Dude. So trust. That's been the theme all night. And this is where I'm having a difficult time reading Luthen. And I'm revisiting this as first time reading this through, right? Watching this through. And I'm kind of weird, man. I've been alone all night. Thank you for joining, Debbie.
I apologize. Where's Andrew?
Dude, Andrew was out too. So Cam working, Zane out, rehearsal. You had another show to prep for. I get it. So it's all good. This is where at this point in the show, when I'm learning who Luthen is, knowing what he's, trying to do here, I realize that I don't know his motivation outside of the ideal. And that now it's more in this scene, like, is he worried for the people or is he worried for the mission? I don't know what it is.
I think it's the mission. I know I didn't get to watch the whole interview, but they had an interview with Tony Gilroy.
Oh.
And he did say that we will learn Luthen's background or backstory.
Oh, hell yeah.
Season 2. So I wonder if, something bad happened to his family or, to someone he cared about, whether it was family or just a friend or whatever. But yeah, I kind of wonder if it's all about revenge for him.
Mm-hmm.
And the rebels. He's using the rebels to get his way, or get his outcome.
And I get the feeling like he's using his loss as the rationale to do the things that he does, to use people. I mentioned as human capital, but in a negative connotation, right? Like they're tools. He's playing the game with people. He's not playing the people game. And when you play the game with people, there's a cost to that. And that cost, in this case, rebellion, is lives. You have to know, though, and this is a question that maybe Andor has to answer at this point, is does he realize his level of expendability? That does he know at this point, teaming up with Luthen to do this job, does he get his expendability?
Oh yeah. I think he realized that while the group was still back at camp.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of thrust upon the group, first Vel, and then the rest of them, and none of them really like him except for the young kid.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name, but yeah, I think he knows I think he knows that they're all expendable.
Yeah.
They may not realize it, but he does.
Yeah, and that was always a cool thing that I saw in the expanded universe, legends, whatever books, that you would have characters that were, second tier characters, whatever, uh, rogue pilots, red pilots that like Porkins and those cats like had more story that we read about. Like there's good stuff in there for those teams. Um, but they're they're in a war. Like not everyone's gonna live. It's just not how it is. And when you're Luthen right here, you're stirring the pot and you're trying to start something really big by making a tiny noise to amplify it to something really big. And we all know how this all plays out. But mostly in this episode tonight, we wanted to look at Andor and his. I mean, who does he have right now that he can absolutely trust? That he knows is alive? That who can he trust?
Himself.
That's
That's
it.
it.
And even then, can he even really trust himself? He's already done things to survive. We talked a little bit earlier. I talked earlier tonight about that opening bit with him in Rogue One. Like we see right away, kind of dude this is. And I'd love to get your feedback, Debbie, on this question that I asked. If we see that as who this Cassian Andor character is, that's how we're introduced to him. It seems that he's probably a level or two up on Han as far as level of scoundrelness and murkness, and I'm gonna shoot someone in cold blood because they may threaten me. He just like, and we've seen Han do that to stormtroopers as they're chasing him or whatever, but this seemed on a whole nother level. And the question was more, in 2025 we see something like this. I'm revisiting this and it still doesn't really set well with me that this is a guy I'm getting behind, because his moral blurred vision on some things, I have a problem. It's entertainment. It's just entertainment. I'm just saying, trying to connect with the character. Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I like, yeah, do it? That maybe there's been a shift in us, in how we look at the anti-hero or the hero that we get behind that has some moral flexibility. So, like, what do you think? Is there? You watch, I think, a lot of these other fandoms way more than I do. Are you seeing this kind of moral blurring where Superman was for X, Y, and Z back in the 50s and 70s and 80s, and now not so much? You seeing a shift in that?
I don't know, because I mean we seen it in was it Man of Steel, um where he kills Zod,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people were upset about that because it's like, he never kills. But it's like, so would you rather him, Zod, keep killing people because he had that family in a corner and he was going to zap them with his laser eyes?
Yeah.
And I'm like, given the choice, and I think you could say this for any time during a war, you're gonna make that hard choice where you blur the lines. You don't want to, but given the other option, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, it just seems that it's a little different today than it was a while back. And like our heroes, like Batman. Okay, yeah, Batman is the vigilante, but it's well established he is the vigilante. He does do things, but even then, he doesn't just straight up kill people. He just doesn't. So I can see, I don't know why we're using DC as the example here, but I think because it's the easiest example to use, because peace, justice in the American way, truth, justice in the American way. I mean, it's not what's being said anymore, but, is there moral wishy-washy to our heroes? And if so, should they be more black and white than maybe what we're getting? We've seen that with the villains, right? Where, oh well, I can relate to this villain. I understand why Thanos is. He really does care about people. He's just going about it the wrong way. Like, it seems like that's where we're moving it. If that makes sense. And I don't want our heroes to be so wishy-washy in their morals. Is that wrong? Isn't that why they're heroes?
Well, yeah, because they put the bad guys away. They don't kill them. But as Joker points out, that
we're just gonna get back out, bats.
yeah, they're yeah, you put them away, but they get back out and they kill more. Which is true, but it's a very fine line, a very fine line. Yeah, you don't want to see your heroes, superheroes, whatever, become wishy-washy, flippy floppy.
Yeah.
But I do think, man, there's just times where, if you're backed up against the wall and you have no other choice, what are you going to do?
Kobayashi Maru.
Exactly.
There's always a way out.
Kill or be killed.
Yeah.
And if you're not around to save, the 1,000 of others that you could if you were alive, then, what's the point?
Yeah, I think in the end you have the Luke Skywalkers of that universe that did what they had to do to assure that more people weren't killed. I think that was their rationale. I mean, let's be honest. Princess Leia straight up strangled to death a gangster boss in a gold bikini, no less. And apparently, to later interviews, she was starving and on cocaine to keep thin. So for her to have that within her to kill this gangster. So even in that, in 1984, 5, we are cheering on this woman choking out and killing another being. And maybe I'm just in a weird place the last few weeks. That's a hard pill to swallow when you're trying to lead the Rebel Alliance and be better than and bigger than the Empire. I know you got to do what you got to do to survive, and I get it. They had to get out. The story, the show must go on. But those are the things that I have a hard time with my heroes. Like, I want them to make the right choice in every situation. I'm not saying that wasn't the right choice. I'm just saying I have a hard time with that one. Does that more explain maybe where I'm coming from? I think, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I know people don't like to talk about the sequel trilogy, but
Cam's not here. Go. I brought it up in the first half of the show.
It kind of irked me when I believe it's the second movie. Yeah, it's the second movie. Poe, he's going up against the destroyers by himself with the other ships behind him, the bombers. And he is just so focused on destroying these destroyers that he pretty much sacrifices all those bombers.
Yep. I
Although
love
I
that you're
don't,
bringing that up.
they're I didn't like their formation. They were all way too close together. I was like, how does
Yeah.
this make sense? But yeah, I mean, he was just so determined to wipe out that ship that he pretty much and you know, Leia called him out on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
destroyed the ship, but how many people did you sacrifice for that?
I'm dying inside right now. If only we had an associate producer volunteer that could rewind the show from tonight and play that exact bit I just said. You
Oh,
just reiterated exactly the point, right? Like, no, thank you. Like, look, guys, like she was watching the show. I know for the three of y'all that have been here the whole time, you're probably like, wait, what? Yes, I just like her. Yes, his her. It wasn't. It was the people, and this is what eventually led us down the path to Luthen in that moment in watching that clip was that it wasn't about it was about the mission, but it was so much more than that. She was playing the people game, not playing the game with people. And I just keep saying that over and over again. And yes, it's in my new book. We read a little bit of that. That's how I was wasting time at the beginning of this show. But the good book, the new book, not the one I sent you, like an actual book. We're reading an excerpt from a book I'm writing right now. All right.
mm,
But no, that we totally. You're exactly right. There's a big difference in the motivation, and that really is kind of the trust and all those things. If you know what Luthen's motivation is, then you can have an educated decision of whether you can trust them or not. And I say motivation is 90%. 90% in Dana's eyes is what's the motivation behind the action? What's the motivation behind what they're saying? Chapter 3 also deals with trust through integrity. We won't read any more from that this evening, but but in those actions that Luthen is doing and what he's setting up, in those actions in the strike on the dreadnought that Poe was leading, that was Leia's plan when it became time for them to pivot to save people in the name of people and not people be damned in the name of numbers.
mhm.
See, the only number, as you were pointing out, that mattered to Poe was one. One dreadnought. Just one. And it will echo throughout the galaxy. It'll also echo throughout the galaxy that now they need more money and now they need more people. The Rebel Alliance is only as strong as the people. I always thought it was brilliant. It was called the Rebel Alliance because everyone had their own reasons for not loving the Empire, not wanting the Empire. Deidre, you're part of the problem. Sorry, girl, but fascist. I do. There's something about her though. She's got that. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, maybe I should start a harem wallpaper. I don't know. I don't think it would be received as well. We're not going to go down that path. So, anyways, we'll close this up. On Andor, I had one more little. I can't believe I didn't get it. Did it go?
Yep, it's gone.
Oh yeah, here it is. It's your girl Deidre. One more time. Oh, that conversation. Episode 6. That conversation with Andor and what's her name. All right, here we go. Here. Here we go. This is what the kind of build up to some meeting times with your girl. And she is so happy to be there. Let me tell you. Last clip for the night, and we will close out.
The alternative analysis is that by comparing the detention numbers to the frequency of surprise inspections, we're under-allocating our harbor patrol units.
So 3 theories, Mr. Young.
Yes, sir.
3 possible explanations for why you have failed to keep pace with your neighboring sectors.
That's correct.
I'm correct. Your approval is heartening.
Yeah.
Your guidance would be welcome, sir.
Very well, let's have a full audit of all hyperspace lanes leading to Ord Mantell on my desk by this time tomorrow.
As you wish.
Mr. Blevin,
Sir.
I sensed something eager in you this morning. Am I mistaken?
No, sir. At risk of repetition, you are correct.
Good news, is it?
I'm afraid not. I wish to lodge a charge against a fellow supervisor.
Proceed.
I believe our sector protocols, as described in the ISB Code of Conduct, are being violated by Supervisor Miro, and that this overreach, for which she was previously reprimanded, risks compromising Imperial safety to a degree that silence is no longer possible.
Oh. Oh. Does anyone ever in their entire working career had one of those coworkers? Oh yes, hands like don't even. Oh, how about this? Raise your hand if you've never experienced a coworker like this. Oh, dude, and she just wanted to just throttle him in the last episode. This is episode 6, by the way. If you guys are wondering, this is towards the end of episode 6. We had looked at the clip earlier within episode 5 where she was measuring him, man. She gave him that look like up and down, like, I'm going to whoop your ass. It was beautiful. Go, Deidre. Okay, here we go. Dude, are we rooting for her anyways, right? I mean...
in order, for her to take him down somehow.
Right. I mean, we acknowledge she's probably like a really deep-rooted fascist and does love her empire, but she's being mistreated and we should totally support her. That's how I'm taking this. And I am 100% behind her. I want to see this dude flounder.
Is this forum appropriate?
I do.
Serious charge.
I believe you'll share my sense of urgency.
Supervisor Miro, do you mind having your integrity ventilated in public?
Supervisor Blevin obviously finds my conduct a more interesting subject than the advancement of integrated Imperial security. He's put a lot into it. I'm curious to hear his insights.
This is Ferrix, is it not?
Hold on. If there's a passive-aggressive response that would be just chef's kiss, that would be it. Let's watch it again, just so we can get copyright dinged. She's like, oh, all this time you want to waste on me instead of the job? Okay.
Something eager in you this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Am I mistaken?
No, sir. At risk of repetition, you are correct.
Good news, is it?
I'm afraid not. I wish to lodge a charge against a fellow supervisor.
Can I say that I love this dude right here?
Proceed.
Yes, he knows what's coming, and he's just playing it.
In the ISB Code of Conduct are being violated by Supervisor Miro, and that this overreach, for which she was previously reprimanded, risks compromising Imperial safety to a degree that silence is no longer possible.
You think this forum appropriate?
I do.
Serious charge.
I believe you'll share my sense of urgency.
Supervisor Miro, do you mind having your integrity ventilated in public?
No, sir. Supervisor Blevin obviously finds my conduct a more interesting subject than the advancement of integrated Imperial security. He's put a lot into it. I'm curious to hear his insights.
Man.
This is Ferrix, is it not?
Yes, sir.
Your sector, there was an unusual piece of naval equipment recovered. Miro wanted your crime reports.
You determined her request was out of order and in violation of the chain of command.
That's not accurate. You advised me to reinforce my suspicions with data and to be careful in my work going forward.
Careful? Is that your defense? You've been careful? I'd be curious how many people at this table will think it careful that you found a way to access our sector data without ever filing a request.
Is that true, Dedra?
Yes. I used the Imperial Emergency Act in the wake of Aldhani to gather data across multiple sectors without official sanction, but that is the wrong question. I'd like to know if anyone here believes the rebellion plans its actions around the artificially constructed boundaries of our sectors.
Major Partagaz created those sectors.
As organizing principles, not personal playthings. Do you really think the rebels care about the lines we draw on maps?
You think?
Okay. You see this is Deidre. Like, this is, they don't like that. They, like, not all of them, but a lot of them don't
Well,
like
Yeah, they don't like that she's spewing facts.
that they chose to ignore or overlook themselves. I mean, my God. It's not like you want to ask a question about how the intelligence was gathered. Fine. But let's deal with that crap later. Let's deal with the threat that I discovered.
I think the relevance of my work has been supplanted.
Systems either change or die. Sir.
Thesis, please.
There's a focused, organized rebel effort to acquire highly restricted Imperial military components.
Your evidence?
By accessing unfiltered sector crime reports, I can now prove a link between the theft of our most secret equipment and its distribution to rebel groups across the galaxy.
Yeah.
This is not verifiable data you are prepared to present?
Yes, sir. I believe Supervisor Blevin is aware I have a documented file ready to go. I believe his accusations here this morning have more to do with self-preservation than any sense of urgency.
What's more urgent?
Okay, hold on. Did she have to go? Did she have to go there though? Like, I'm like, yeah, do it. You're taking the high road. Do it. Oh no! You just took the low road.
Than a renegade intelligence officer. Imagine if everyone in this room played as loose with the rules as you.
Excellent suggestion, Blevin. I'm wondering where we'd be right now if everyone here showed the same endeavor as Supervisor Miro.
What?
I'll have to think about that. For the moment, I'm reassigning the Morlana sector to Supervisor Miro. Ferrix is of great interest to her and has clearly become a distraction for you.
Lovely.
Ouch.
I see no urgent problem, but as always, I salute the provocative exchange of ideas. Supervisor Grandy, you will accelerate your schedule. Young, I will expect your report on Old Mandel tomorrow.
All right. So
Well, that didn't work out for him very well now, did it?
now isn't that special? Yeah,
That's special.
That's not how he thought that was gonna go. He thought that was gonna be what happened. Oh, I can't see where I clicked. Sorry. He overconfidence is your weakness. Man, I love that scene because of many reasons we touched on throughout. But I think for me, as a heart servant people leader, the dude, I can't. What's his name? The manager of all those cats running the meeting, whatever his name is. He's literally like allowing them to play this out. Sometimes you have to allow things on the playground to kind of sort out a bit before you interject. And was perfect. If I was giving a class on leadership in a meeting where there's conflict, again, I've always said conflict is good. Like, that's how we grow, is conflict. This is a perfect example for Deidre to get her kudos. Great job. Way to think outside the box. You're not getting written up, but I'm going to coach you on, let's make sure we go through. If you have that sort of concern, you come to me. And this other cat, learn your lesson, get better, do a better job here. You're obviously good at what you do, so then we'll move you back. Like, there's so much opportunity. I don't know if that's how he took it. Certainly not. But I thought he handled it. The manager handled it perfectly, giving equal time to explain their sides, and then not just saying, "Oh, I'll side with Deidre." It was, well, XYZ. So yeah, that makes sense. Cattail and all.
Yeah.
Awesome. We are at an hour and a half, and about an hour of that was me. So I'm toast.
I'm so sorry.
No, thank you for showing up and let us cap off. And you got to totally reinforce what I had said earlier, so it makes it seem like I know what I'm talking about. It's great. It's great. Wonderful.
Glad I could help you.
Next week we're gonna wrap up Andor, and I know we have a couple weeks before season 2's release, and that's fine. I just have some other things that we're gonna talk about that I haven't even told Debbie or the rest of the folks. But we'll talk about that. We're also going to try to get a guest or two over the next couple weeks as well from other podcasts. That would be super cool. Probably should have done that if I knew in advance more than asking the day of who's not going to be here. Then
yeah, you need to do that a few days beforehand.
Yeah,
of course, I'm always going to be late,
unless
because I'm not sure if it's next week or the week after. I think Daredevil has another 2 episode.
Oh, is that like their finale or?
No. I'll have to look at the schedule, but I was thinking I'm thinking it's episode 5 and 6 where it's back to back. So if that's next week, I will not be here.
Gotcha.
Just a heads up.
No worries.
And then when Andor comes out, I'm out.
I'm telling you right now. I mean, you can watch it on your own, but we're gonna do a real-time watch party in this live, so that we're watching it at the same time. I'm totally. If you want to join that, it would be so fun. I'd love to see you watch shows. Like we just talk about them. So, yeah, that's what's coming, and I'll shoot stuff to you guys to kind of give you more deets as I get them. So recapping, we talked all through Andor, that midsection, kind of 4, 5, 6, 70, somewhere in there. The heist, Andor ended up with the rebels and in trouble, randomly picked up. Then it was so much happening. We just didn't have time to talk about it all. But we talked a lot about the trust piece. There's obviously stuff with even that last scene where we could talk about trust and how well that leader showed that trust to everybody, that thinking outside the box is okay. Breaking rules is not, but I mean, you used the act, you did what the act was. I mean, I can't, whatever. Point is, those people leaders out there, all of you, work the people game. Don't work the game using people. The people game is going to give you a heck of a lot more return on your investment than harping on someone because they're not making a KPI or producing enough or whatever. That's not the way that we edify souls in this planet, man. I hate that. So, yes, I am working on this other book that will be out probably. I want to get it done before I'm 50. And while that sounds funny, it's only a couple months away. So I'm working hard. It's like, boy, I'll have my first real full book done by the time I'm 50. And that was at 45. And now I'm hurrying up and trying to story of my life. So thank you, Debbie, for joining. What other stuff you guys got going on the other shows?
Let's see. This is Tuesday. So Wednesday we have over on Feast of Fandoms, we have War of the Stars will come out with an episode tomorrow. Thursday on Cantina Happy Hour, we are talking about our favorite Star Wars books, novels, whatever, whether it be canon or legends.
Sure.
It don't matter. And then Friday, I'll be over on the Geek and I podcast channel here on YouTube talking about Star Trek.
Nice.
And then Saturday, we have Geek Gauntlet. Sunday, we have Cam over on his channel. I forget what movie they're talking about, but yeah.
So
Monday, we'll be talking about episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again.
Daredevil.
It was a good episode.
Spooky Joe had invited me to a group of about 4 or 5 different Star Wars podcast folks. So I'm gonna start doing some podcast hopping and get some of those cats on here too as guests.
Yeah. Copying me.
Copying you?
Yeah.
What? Oh,
I
the
podcast.
podcast. You're a staple. Like, no, you're like you're on our website now. Like with Cam, Debbie, and Zane. Like that's everywhere. Even in my book. I think even in my book it says that. Hold on.
The journal one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, with Cam, hosted by Dr. Dana with Cam, Debbie, and Zane. You got to do it. Cam, Debbie, and Zane. Okay. Anyway. Andrew's like, oh, I didn't get a shot. Shut up, Andrew. I sent you a book. Just be happy. And on that note, before we close out, I'll show that one more time. I had a the loyalty pro. I closed it like a dummy. Did I? No, here it is. Loyalty. So as of before this show started, yes, the Sith Dominion is #1. I will send myself my own book. No. Streamlabs, no. But Spooky Jawa, I mean, killed it the last 2 weeks. Or last week he spent so between the 2 weeks, almost 2 full hours watching our show live. So remember, it's only live. You get to accumulate points. We'll see what happens next week. First one to 100 gets a free book. And I went through that book a little while ago. I won't do it again. So I was about to click in stream. Hold on. No. Stop. God, I need to go to bed. How is this sharing? It's not even supposed to be sharing. Okay. Hi, folks. That's it. That's our show. And it was fun. I had a good time trying to carry it myself. If you want some laughs, Debbie, you should replay this.
I usually do at work in the morning. I usually put it on while I'm working on other stuff. I'll watch it, or at least listen to it.
The best 39 minutes was after you joined. So thank you. We will we'll shut it down. We'll see you all next week. Go subscribe, like, follow, all the things. Please, we know how much that helps. Everybody knows how that helps. So please do so. Eris, thank you for joining and hanging out and engaging, et cetera, et cetera. The rest of y'all, remember, kids, peace is a lie. There is only passion. Good night.